You guys, I charged your battery a little bit at the house before I left, but I can't find another battery, which I have Sue, Darren took Sheila, and apparently he also has Renee, or at least I can't. I looked in the bag to find the batteries for the Canons, and I couldn't find the batteries for the Canons in any of the bags I was looking through. Shit, I don't know if that's the right way to turn. And so I looked through Renee's bag, and I couldn't even find Renee in there. So I don't know where one of the chargers, one of the batteries, and Renee are. I do know that he took Sheila, but he probably took a battery and of course a card with Sheila. But if he has Renee, then I would like to think that he didn't like plan that. So that would be sad if he planned on, like, I don't know, like us ending, but or you know, us parting or something, but he didn't tell me. On the other hand, if he did that, he must be hurting a lot, and I need to realize that, you know. Of course he's hurting a lot. We're both hurting a lot. There's no way around that. Anyway, I went to Wendy's and got a large chili, and they gave me tons of chili sauce without me. I asked for chili sauce. I asked for a whole lot, but usually I have to ask a second or even third time to get the amount I wanted. They just gave it to me. I just trusted they would, and they did, and I'm glad. I really should probably have ordered something less messy, but this is what I wanted, and I didn't want to just sit in the parking lot and eat. So I'm doing serious multitasking driving down the road, but I'm going slowly and nobody's really around me. So anyway, what have I been thinking about? I've been listening to music. The music has been really cool. Just on the radio, not Radio Free Santa Fe. And I've been looking at the people walking down the streets. There's really a lot of pedestrians out today. It's a really warm, beautiful day, and so I'm sure my sweetheart is out and about, and I can't help but think of everybody who I see and I'm driving past might be my sweetheart, but I'm not really looking for him. It's just there's people, and I'm going, like, noticing that it could be Darren, you know. Oh, there's the homeless shelter, in fact. They're all leaving right now, looks like. I didn't know. I thought that they had to leave way earlier than that. It's 10:15. Maybe they do, and maybe I'm wrong, but a whole bunch of people are milling about out there. Well, anyway, he stayed in the homeless shelter last night, and he said that they're open tonight, or they were last night and tonight, so there's one more night to stay at the homeless shelter, if he wants to, but that's up to him and whatever he feels right about. I would like to talk to him, though, because I don't know, I'd like to feel better about this situation and apologize for my part and what's happened. What's interesting is this is how I see it, and I think my baby agrees, but I don't know if he does or not. I'm to the point where I can't speak for him because I may be right and I may be wrong, and if I'm wrong, then that's not fair, you know. A lot of times I say where, you know, speak for him, I guess, and say what I think he thinks, because he's told me those things before, but even so, he may change his mind, you know. People have a right to do that, and I don't like to change my mind, but I've found myself changing my mind a lot lately. About just about everything, really. And not Buddhism, but everything else, you know, like what I believe a relationship is and stuff like that. Delicious. They put cheese and onions on it. I normally don't even eat crackers, but my baby got me to liking them. There's the McDonald's where he and I have fought and met and had fun and worked on our film and stolen napkins. 1,000 times. So my phone beeped. I'm gonna look and see what it says. Nothing. Just a junk spam email. Anyway, when you're used to having someone at your side, it's like a huge vacancy when they're not around. That probably makes sense, but I mean, my sweetheart and I are together almost all the time, you know. When we're apart, I'll speak for myself. I want to be with him. I just know that I can't, you know, always be with him. I chant because the cop was back there. And cops make me chant. One of the things I noticed about practicing Buddhism is if you have this really negative pattern, I mean an extremely negative pattern that has to be broken, you will, because that negativity will stop giving you any kind of satisfaction and only give you negativity back. And this is really a good thing, because you stop making those negative causes in your life, like an addiction. What happens after a while is you start getting sick even thinking about acting on your addiction, you know? And it loses all of its luster, and that's good, because there's no luster to it in the first place, so. The kind of addictions I've dealt with are what they call intimacy dysfunctions. Not like sexual dysfunction, it's an inability to allow oneself to be intimate with another person. And I think that's very true, but I also think that all addictions are that. People who are immersing their lives in films or movies and video games or even books or whatever allows them not to connect with the people around them. It's an intimacy disorder, you know. I've told my sweetheart some really mean things lately, and none of them were true. The nice things I said were true, the honest and sincere things I said were true, you know, but mean things, they're not true at all. And that's why I'm starting to realize that anything that's mean isn't true. It's just not the truth when people do mean things to each other. You know, I always thought when someone's mad, that's when they tell the truth. That's when they lie the most. That's when they're hurting the most, and they'll say the opposite of the truth. I've seen it happen with me and Darren and really everybody else in the whole damn world, but it's really come clear to me with Darren because I regret it later. Like I said about the negative pattern, I really feel sick from it, you know. It can even go to the extreme of needing to vomit and stuff like that, like my baby felt the other night. And during that time, I wasn't very helpful to him, but I think he understood that, you know, yeah, she's not being very cool right now, but she's trying. She's doing her best, and yeah, my best isn't good enough. Our best isn't good enough. But it also is, you know. Because we love someone so much that we try that hard. Even to try and fail, you know. Not to try to fail, but to try and fail anyway, you know. We risk failing, you know, for the other one. And then when we do, it's like we're punished, and we are, but then we have to just try again. Life is just about striving to do better in each moment, and sometimes achieving that. When I lived alone, I had to go and seek out my enemies so that I could grow. I had to actively seek them out, communicate with them. And when I found Darren, it was like the fight came home. Now, in a lot of ways it is a literal fight, but it's a fight with ourselves, ultimately. You know, if it were a fight with Darren, it'd be easy, because Darren doesn't want to hurt me in any way. He doesn't, I know that. And so he wouldn't, but the fight is with myself. And so the fight is going to persist until I overcome myself, and where I really overcome my own weaknesses. And that's a lifetime process. It's not going to happen. Even when I'm accomplished whatever it is I'm trying to accomplish here with Darren, I'll have another new lesson to learn. It doesn't end. It really is forever. But I think we get to a point where we're happy through it all, you know. And I've been reading a lot in Buddhist literature, for no coincidence, lately, about death. I used to read about death in Buddhist literature, and I'd be like, that's not for me. I don't fear death. I'm not afraid of dying. It's never been a fear I've even could relate to, you know. But with Buddhism, I have learned that the kind of death I fear is not the death of my body so much. Maybe I do and I don't know it. But the death in each moment. Like when we've started this clip, I had a full container of chili, and now it's down to, I don't know, 80% full. 20% of it's gone. And now, you know, I'll take another bite, and that bite will be gone. The road that was ahead of me back there is now behind me. Even my car has changed over the past 20 minutes or 30 or an hour that I've been driving. It's changed. Things have been moved around. I don't know, probably on a minute level that things have changed. Maybe it's obvious to you all watching that this has been changing all along here. I watch the clips and see that, and since I first started at SFCC, it's changed. A lot of ways for the better too, you know. For me, for sure, so much of it has become better, and it's because I've worked so hard to make it better. But it's worked, you know, and that's what I mean. Things change. There's a death to. I remember walking down the halls of SFCC my first semesters and being so nervous and uncomfortable there, and thinking, why am I so uncomfortable here? I've spent my whole life in academia. But I was really intimidated by the caliber of students at SFCC who were able to compete with me at a graduate school level when they're at a community college. And that was very, very intimidating to me. A lot of the attitude of, you know, like caring more about